I guess. Something that we've talked about a lot on this channel recently is being able to document our lives. And recently we just bought possibly the best, worst camera for doing just that. This is our new camera, or better yet, this is our new camera. And it can do some really cool things. And here's some more clips to show you just that.
Oh, hey, that's my bucket. Thank you.
Who would you like to ride?
The Applejack.
You want Applejack? Come on around me. Come on around. There you go. You ready? We'll pick up 1, 2, 3. Make sure you hang on to the horn, okay?
Okay.
If the saddle rocks, just try to stay as balanced as you can.
Okay. Wow. Do you see yourself?
There's no denying that this is one really cool camera. I love this mount. I love how easy it is to take it out. I've got another mount right here that I can use it with, and it's definitely much easier to talk to this little camera sometimes when you're out in public versus hauling this behemoth around. But that doesn't mean that this neat little magnetic camera doesn't come without its fair share of issues. For instance, one of the things that I'm most disappointed with this camera is the low light capability and really the lack thereof. And the issue is not that you can't use it in low light, but that it has to be in manual mode and that you have to manually set your ISO and things like that to produce the best content. When in an action camera, you should really just be able to hit record and start going, even in the darkest conditions. Even though it may not be the most lit, they should be able to produce a little bit better content out of that. But there's still so much good in this camera that makes up for it. I mean, take the fact that right now I don't need a tripod to get a good talking headshot of myself with this camera, and really I don't even need the remote module to view it because I know how wide the angle is. And the tripod that I'm using is actually the truck. You're on the truck right now, you're magnetized, and I'm able to come talk to you, but just as easy, I can pop you off, walk you around, and act like nothing at all is happening and be able to get pretty good footage. But there is one issue with this, and it turns out that not all of the truck is magnetized. Hence, the hood is not magnetized. I knew the bumper, the grille, I knew those are plastic, but I did not realize that the hood was aluminum, causing it not to be able to be magnetized. But the good thing is there are still plenty of great options to magnetize onto and to hopefully be able to get some pretty cool shots when we're out and about doing things.
Oops. Yeah.
Something to consider is that this little camera would be extremely hard to find if you drop it or lose it somewhere out in public. Thankfully, we bought the white model, but that actually came into play because they offer a black one that looks really cool. But the thing is we started thinking about it and we're like, if we drop this, what are the chances we'll actually be able to find it? And that's what sold us on the white one. We wanted the black one because maybe like the hidden camera, not as intrusive, doesn't bother people as much sort of thing. But then, and the more I thought about it and the more I got that idea of like, well, what if we drop it? That's how we settled on the white one. And honestly, I'm kind of glad we did. Because as cool as magnets are, they're still not perfect. And sometimes you're going to be able to knock this connection loose and this camera is going to fall on the ground. And I've actually knocked this camera off stuff already. That's not really the camera's fault, but as much as I just didn't pay attention to how the door actually opened on the van. But still, either way, I've read reviews about how people will use the pendant magnet and this camera will fall. And so it's good to realize that you want to have a color that you're going to be able to see. And so that's why I think white is possibly the best choice that you can have for that. But I also can't deny the fact of just how cool it is that you can literally mount this camera anywhere. Well, at least almost anywhere. Nope. 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 Hey. There we go. All right, buddy, do you want to show them how easy it is to put this little camera on your bike? Here you go.
Wow. Look at this.
Another reason that we're making this video is because this is kind of an average weeknight whenever it's warm out.
Yeah.
Once the sun's back out and it's not winter anymore, this is pretty normal. You know, you move the truck so that the kid can ride his bicycle for all of 5 seconds and then get really excited to try to climb in the back of said truck with the dog.
Yeah. And then climb out and climb in and climb out and climb in.
Yep. This is just kind of our thing. This is what we do. But it tires both of them out.
Yeah.
Especially the dog. Not as much the kid, but somehow the dog definitely gets tired out more from this thing than anything else.
Listen, you give us a nice 70 degrees or more, and that dog gets tired in 5 minutes outside.
Yeah, it's kind of the best. Kind of can't complain about that. What's funny is this thing beeps so much when you do different things, and now I've set my watch to beep on the hour. I thought it was the camera telling me something.
I thought it was the camera too.
I thought it was like ending the clip. But another really interesting thing about this camera is the fact that it's actually 180 degrees. And I don't have it in the mode that'll show you that right now. But what's so great about that is the steady footage it provides when I'm walking around. So I'm able to walk with this camera, even kind of like run with the camera a little bit, move pretty fast, and all the while the footage still looks pretty rock steady throughout the entire thing. And so that's better than really any other action camera that we've had, or even the cameras that we have, like our big camera with in-body image stabilization. It still doesn't have the steady footage that this camera provides, which is, in my opinion, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Mommy, can I drive?
Alright guys, I think it's time now though to go record the podcast tonight.
Do you want to move the truck, or should I?
You got this. I'm gonna go set the podcast up.
Mommy, can I?
Come on, let's go.
Okay, let's go drive the truck.
I'm really happy with what this camera is going to be able to allow us to do. And I think it's going to open up some possibilities and allow us to use some new perspectives that we may not have had the option to do otherwise. Way to like just straight gun it though. Like,
Good job.
Come on.
Podcast is complete. I think it was a pretty good episode, honestly. And the best part about this entire studio is the minimal amount of cleanup that I actually have to do. I get to leave so much of this stuff exactly where it is and just pick up a few bits, bobs, and cables, and then I can just go back upstairs and don't have to worry about it. And even when I leave just a few of the things out, it just still seems so fresh and so clean down here. But I did notice while we were doing the podcast that Bree, while she was getting stuff from behind the curtain the other day, didn't put it all the way back together. No big deal though. Oop. Put that back there. The only thing really that stinks about the setup down here at the moment is the fact that we have to constantly move this computer up and down the stairs all the time. But besides that, it's really not a big deal. And the hope is that before too long, we're going to have a dedicated computer down here hooked up to that monitor, and then we're not going to have to worry about that anymore. We'll be able just to leave that computer down here, be able to hook it up to the podcast stuff, and then just wirelessly transfer any files we need between upstairs and downstairs, and it won't be that big of a deal. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to have down here soon, but not exactly sure when that day is going to come. But just having the studio space, being able to use it, being able to not have to clean up, as I talked about, just be able to leave some of the stuff out and usable for the next time we come down makes life so much easier, because I don't have to worry about the settings getting messed with. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And so that makes having the office such a valuable tool, especially since it's completely separated from the house. So I don't have to worry about one of the kids coming down here, or even one of the friends of the kids coming down here and like messing with settings, messing with things. I know that everything's how I want it, how I left it when I come down here, and I can just plug in, set up, and we are good to start recording the podcast. I really feel blessed to be able to have this space, and even though this probably isn't the best angle on the space, maybe if I should have tried to film from this angle right here, but nonetheless, I still feel so blessed, and I'm so thankful to have this space down here to where I can record, where we have a nice looking backdrop, and to where I get to leave things the way that I like them. And it's probably my favorite place in the house because there's so little traffic down here that it's always clean. And that's something that I can't deny really enjoying about having this space. Alright, and that's really going to do it for this video. All about talking about this new camera. I'm obviously not a tech reviewer, so I didn't go into all the specs and the details, but you can find videos that talk about that. But I did really want to talk about how this is probably the best worst camera, like we already talked about. There's just a lot of things that this camera does that no other camera can do, and allows you to get shots that no other camera can do. And really, you can put this camera in places that no other camera can go. And so for those facts and features, this is probably one of the coolest cameras on the market right now. But it's also the best worst camera, because despite all the things that it does great, there's still a lot of things that it doesn't do very well. And probably you experienced some of those in this video so far. Some of the quality, some of the things just aren't as quality as obviously a full frame camera like this is, or even some of the other action cameras that are on the market right now. But still, none of those cameras are able to do anything like what this camera is able to do. And so I'm really excited to see where this is going to take us and what we're going to be able to do with it. If you liked this video, if you liked what you saw, if you liked what you were able to see with this camera and you're interested in seeing more, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those great things. If you have questions about this camera that we didn't answer, we're not sponsored, we don't have anything like that. So if you want to know more about the Insta360 Go, then definitely, or Go 3, then definitely ask. It's a really cool camera. It's one of the coolest cameras that we've used, but at the same time, it definitely has its shortcomings, its fallbacks, and we're not afraid to talk about those because we want you to have the best experience, because we were a little sad when we got this camera. But anyways, if you like this video, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe. We're going to be doing a much more like this, and I'm actually looking forward to it because hopefully this weekend we're going to be using it to capture Bree's birthday and all the stuff that she wants to do, and hopefully we're going to be able to go outside, do some great fun adventures, and be able to use this new camera along with another video thing that's coming hopefully before that day that we'll be able to share with you guys as well. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless. You've also had the opportunity to play with this little camera a little bit. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I've not looked at the footage yet, so...
I showed you the one videos.
Yeah, but like...
Alright, buddy. You want to show them how easy it is to put... Sorry, hold on. Whoa. I didn't see that coming.
Be careful, he'll try to get your bucket.
He will take your bucket. Oh!